Good afternoon. Today is November 17, 2009. Mexico. Hymns and tears as victims of the attack on Mormon families are buried. Dozens of vehicles from US traveled to La Mora to mourn victims. Mayor of the La Mora in Sonora State says violence has worsened. With Mexican soldiers standing guard, a mother and two sons were carried to the grave in the hand-hewn pine coffins on Thursday at the first funeral for the victims of a drug cartel ambush that left 9 Mexican-American women and children dead. Clad in shirt sleeves, suites of modest dresses, about 500 mourners embraced in graffiti under white tents erected in La Mora, a hamlet of about 300 people who consider themselves Mormon but are not affiliated with the Church of the Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints. Some wept and some sang hymns. Members of the extended community, many of whom, like the victims, are dual US and Mexican citizens, had built the coffins themselves and used shovels to dig a single, large grave of the tree and the rocky soul of La Mora's small cemetery. Farmers and teenage boys carried the coffins. The coffins were placed on low tables, and the mourner filed past to view the bodies and paid their last respects to Donna Ray Langford, 43, and her sons Trevor, 11, and Rogan, 2. They were too late to rest together, just as they died together on Monday when attackers fired a hail of bullets at their USV on dirty roads leading to another settlement, Colonia Lebaron, a neighboring Chihuahua state. 6 children and 3 women in all were killed in the attack on the convoy of 3 USVs. There was no talk of revenge in this highly religious community, only a deep thirst for justice. The eyes of the world are upon what happened here, and there are saints all over the world whose hearts have been touched. J. Ray, Donna's father, said in an eulogy, "The plan of God is for His saints to gather out from among the wicked, become separate from them, to band together, to establish together the laws of respect on and down." J. Ray said, "God will take care of the wicked." Donna's younger sister Amber Ray, 34, eulogized her as a devoted mother to her 13 children and a home worker who loved the good laugh and baked the best birthday cakes around. The hamlet is about 7 miles, 110 kilometers south of the Arizona border, where American-style frame houses alternate with barns and orchards. Patrols of Mexican Army troops pass by regularly on the hamlet's only paved road, proving security that was lacking the day of the killings. The other victims are expected to be buried in Colonia Lebaron later, but the two communities whose residents are related drew together in the show of the grief. Dozens of the high-riding pickups and USVs, many with US license plates from as far away as North Dakota, arrived in La Mora for the funeral, traveling over the dirty roads where the attack occurred. Officials say Human from the Juarez drug cartel has set up the ambush as part of the turf war with the Sinaloa cartel, and the U.S. families drove into it. Stephen Ford, who was mayor of La Mora from 2015 to 2018, and whose sister Christina Ford was one of the women killed, said that he expects the slaying to lead to an exodus from the community. Now, this place is going to become a ghost town, he said. A lot of people are going to leave. Mexican officials say the attackers may have mistaken the group's large USVs for tools of a rival gang. They let the children go, so we can deduce that it was not a targeted attack. And the family say the Army's chief of staff, General Homero Mendoza, but Julian Lebaron, whose brother Benjamin and an anti-crime activist was killed by cartel gunmen in 2009, disputed death. They had to have known that it was women and children, he said, adding that the 8 children who survived, he reported that one mother got out of her SUVs and raised her hands and was gonna down anyway. To many, the bloodshed seemed to demonstrate once more that the government has lost control over vast areas of Mexico drugs traffickers, and it called into question President Andrés Manuel López Obrador's hunks on non-bullet security strategy of the trying to solve underlying social problems instead of the battling drugs cartels with the military force. It was also the last shocking act of the cartel violence to suggest that the old rules against killing foreigner women or children are collapsing. The country is suffering very much from violence, said William Stubbs, a pecan and alfalfa farmer who serves on a community security committee in Colonia Lebaron. You see it all over, and it ain't getting better, it's getting worse.
Riddled with bullet holes and still smouldering. The hollow, burnt-out remains of one of the cars in the convoy.
This is for the record. Nita and 4 of my grandchildren are burnt and shot up.
They were among 9 women and children, some less than a year old, ambushed by gunmen on Monday. All US citizens, they were linked to a breakaway Mormon community in northern Mexico.
Helpless families are being innocently killed down there.
Relatives in Utah try to make sense of the murders.
It's not just got caught in gunfire in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is a whole new level of cartel violence.
US President Donald Trump spoke to his Mexican counterpart by phone and offered American assistance to fight the cartels. Earlier tweeting, "The cartels have become so large and powerful," he said, "that you sometimes need an army to defeat an army." Hundreds of thousands of people have died in Mexico's drug war over the last 12 years, despite a military campaign and the killing and arrest of leading traffickers. But Mexico's president has knocked back Donald Trump's offer, ruling out any foreign intervention.
This has been something that Mexico's been working on for a long, long time, and there's still a problem, and it's getting worse.
Residents on both sides of the US-Mexico border are suffering.
For us, that's our biggest concern, because now you're in our county, our citizens now become vulnerable to any of this kind of violence.
Why this family was targeted remains unclear, but local authorities say it could have been a tragic case of mistaken identity. Jane Norman, ABC News, Washington.
unfortunately, the violence in Mexico is increasing. The last month in Culiacan, Sinaloa state, the violence is it was the worst period in that city. Right now, in this attack in the Mormon families in this community in La Mora, in Sonora, is terrible. I watched it on TV talking about this case. I didn't I no sorry I don't have words to describe my my feeling. I am sad. I can't to believe in this terrible attack against the women, children, babies. Sad. I like so much living this country, Mexico. But to read or to watch this tip of this news, I don't have describe. 2 days ago, I was in shock. I can't to understand this attack. This for me, this is terrorism. No, it's the war of the against the cartels. Mexico have the great problem, the drugs of cartels, but I think this problem is a fruit of the American government, because the guns, the American guns, enter to Mexico, and the drugs, the Bolivia, Peru, Colombia, pass through Mexico to USA. So I think the only one option to destroy these cartels, the first, the arm and the guns control, the American guns control, to pass to Mexico as a first cause. The second option is control the boundary in Mexico, Guatemala. I think that part, they enter the drugs in this country, and so in USA they control the drugs in USA, because we know the biggest consumer of drugs on the world is US. And I think the Mexico needs helping to USA. Okay, the López Obrador has said no thanks. But I think in this moment, the control of the violence in this country is very necessary to help this American government together the Mexican government against the drugs cartels and the control of their guns in US and the drugs to enter Mexico, or and the drugs in the USA. As only one of option, only one exit. Unfortunately, this family, the Langford, has lost his parents, his relatives, sisters, daughters, grandson, granddaughters, mother. It's very, very sad. Thank you very much to watch for my new video. If you want to learn English or talk with me in English, come here to Class por Idiomas, or we can do class for through Skype anywhere in the world. Share this video with your family, friends, and everybody. Subscribe on my channel on YouTube. It's very important for me. Please subscribe. Like and comments other videos I made. Rest in peace. Good night. See you in the next video. Bye.